Okay, good afternoon. So we begin session 1 of the conference by PNULISAA. So the title of my session is this, Striking the Balance, the Changing Landscape of Collection Development. My goal for this afternoon is to provide you with broad strokes on the landscape of collection development and the changes that go about with the digital age. So I would like you to look at the global perspective, changes that affect us globally, and then you look at your library. We can look into our libraries and the practice of the profession on a more localized manner. So, ganun yung gagawin natin. We will look at the local and the global. So, our thinking will go from micro to macro and macro to micro. So, for the purpose of my discussion, I'm going to focus on the idea of balance, the idea of change, how we can manage change, and how can we adapt to change in the context of collection development. Now, meron akong question na guiding question ko while I was making my presentation, while I was working on my research. And this is a question I would also like you to think about. How do you keep your balance in an ever-changing landscape? If PNULISAA used a scale to achieve balance in collection development, I would like us to look at balance as something that's dynamic. In a more philosophical standpoint, achieving a balance requires a lot of movement. Sabi nga ni Albert Einstein, to keep your balance, you need to keep moving. Sa para kang nakasakay sa bisikleta. Para umandar ang bisikleta, kinakailangan magpedal ka. Pag hindi ka nagpedal, hindi lang siya hindi aandar, hindi ka rin magiging balanse. So, yung change sa landscape ng profession, napakadami niya. How are we going to adapt to the change? By being dynamic, by keeping on moving. It's also good that as we move, we pause for a while to reflect on where we are in the whole process. So, yun ang gamitin nating idea. Balance, to move, and to adapt to change. I'm not saying na mali yung scale, no, na metaphor. What I'm trying to emphasize here is to look at a perspective of balance as something that we have to do constantly to be able to adapt to change. Okay? So, magbalik-aral muna tayo. Review natin yung ating collection development ideas, concepts, and practice. So, meron siyang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 na component, no? At nakikita ko siya bilang isang cycle, paulit-ulit, proseso na ang bawat isa may information na tumutulak dun sa isang component o sa isang aspect para maging buo. Assessment and evaluation, collection development policy, budgeting, selection and deselection, preservation and conservation, and of course, resource sharing. So, assessment and evaluation, dun sa ating collection development program, naka-indicate siya as a very important baseline study. No? Let us approach this as a way to understand where we are in our collection development program. So, pwede nating tingnan ang ating collection or ma-assess ang ating collection at ma-evaluate ito in terms of size and growth based on standards and based on criteria. So, we can use the standards for public libraries. Nakasaad doon, no, kung ilan yung number, yung volume, yung titles na dapat nating ma-achieve. Pwede rin tayong kumuha ng third-party group to assess our collection alongside our assessment, tulad ng PAASCO, PACOCOA, and other authorization body. Pwede rin tayong mag-assess at mag-evaluate ng collection sa pamamagitan ng paggawa ng mga bibliographic listings in comparison with other libraries. So, nangyayari ito sa mga member libraries ng isang consortium or consortia. Pwede rin tayong mag-assess at mag-evaluate ng collection sa pamamagitan ng advisory board ng mga experts or subject specialists. And they will look at the curriculum and the course offerings and match it with the collection of the library. The collection development policy must contain the following components. Purpose and goals of collection development. Bakit? Ba't ka ba nagpapakahirap bumuo ng library collection? Human resource. Sino ang responsable sa pagbuo ng koleksyon? Funding. Saan ka kumukuha ng pera? Anong budget mo? At papaano ka bumubuo ng budget para makabili ng mga kailangan sa collection development ng library mo. Selection policy for print, non-print and AV resources, online and web-based resources. And then management and maintenance. Ano yung procedures and processes para ma-manage mo ang mga collection mo at ano yung maintenance procedures para hindi ka lang makakatipid, you will also assure that your resources and your collection is kept up to date and relevant. Statement of access and ownership. Kailangan ng policy natin may nakalagay na physical and virtual access statements. Paano ba ito makukuha? Ano yung procedures? May statement ba tayo on copyright and IPR, intellectual property rights? Creative Commons, digital rights management ng ating mga e-books, meron ba tayong mga nakasaad na perpetual access guidelines on our subscriptions? Tayo ba ay may e-reader sa library o bring your own device? Meron ba tayong e-book ownership? Yan. Sorry, parang baliktad ata. BYOD. Bring your own device dapat. Okay, please just make the necessary corrections. And of course, we should also put in our collection policy resource sharing measures we have with other libraries. And then, we evaluate our collection development policy. Kailan at hanggang saan valid ang ating collection development policy? 3 taon ba bago tayo mag-evaluate? 5 taon? Huwag namang 10 taon. So, ang tanong, kailan tayo mag-evaluate ng collection development policy natin? Mamaya, malalaman natin yan, depende sa mga aspects or factors na influential sa pagbuo ng ating collection. So, budgeting, it should express the library fees, and the basis for this is the student population. We should also put in a statement on how we accept gifts and donation, and the procedure on donating to other institutions kapag meron tayong mga weeded out na collection. Our budgeting systems may differ from one institution to the other. Pwedeng capital expense, kasama doon ang library, no? May malaking amount and parceled out ito sa mga departments. Or pwedeng library committee na bumubuo ng proposal at director of libraries or head librarian ang in charge para sa pagpropose ng budget. Selection and deselection, ito yung mga pamamaraan na pwede natin gawin at isama sa policy natin when we think of putting in or building in a collection or holdings for print, AV, or multimedia, or our online subscriptions. So, collaborative. Do we select, acquire, and deselect in a collaborative manner? May involvement ba ang students, ang faculty, sa pag-select natin ng ating mga resources sa library? O mag-isa lang tayong nagde-decide? Direct demand acquisition. Do we welcome recommendations, requests, or even demands from our clients? What to acquire? Do we put in a do we put in a possible purchase file for the requests and recommendations of our library clients? So, ang tawag doon, no, direct demand acquisition. Ito rin yung mga kailangang bilhin na all of a sudden, may change sa curriculum at kailangan siyang mabili in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time. So, dapat meron din tayong provision for that service or for that procedure. Library client participation. Do we conduct focus group discussions? Do we conduct surveys, either online or field surveys, para malaman natin, no, kung ano ang mga selection choices or options ng ating mga clients. Meron ba tayong mga kapihan to consult our library clients? So this is more participatory, okay? And similar to collaboration, team effort ito nung librarian at nung kanyang mga stakeholders and learning community members. And then of course, the library committee. Dumadaan ba ang selection and deselection process sa library committee? Anong procedures meron kayo na naka-structure na? Warning lang, ano, kasi yung mga library committees, minsan matagal mag-decide. So we have to check if the setup or the procedure we put in for the selection and acquisition of resources is not counterproductive to our library services. Preservation and conservation, this would refer to archiving, book repair and maintenance procedures, digitization and conservation measures, resources and equipment management. Resource sharing. Ano yung mga participation ng library ninyo sa isang consortium o sa mga konsorsya? May interlibrary loan agreement ba kayo sa iba't ibang libraries within your area? Membership in organizations, private institutions, and government agencies para kung wala ka nung mga information na kailangan ng clients mo, pwede kang mag-reach out sa private or government agencies. At kung may membership ka sa museums, sa mga organizations, NGOs particularly, na nagpo-provide ng mga mahahalagang information, pwede mo ring gamitin sila to augment or to further develop your collection. Local and global experts as sources of content. So ito na yung mga professionals and subject specialists na pwede mong kunin na magbigay ng talk, magbigay ng workshop, and in a way, they are also contributing to the richness and the variety of information or in the collection that you have in the library. This may also refer to the teachers or the faculty or the school leadership that you have in your learning community na uma-attend ng mga workshops o nagpa-publish ng mga academic papers, ng mga libro, kunin mo yung kanilang mga publications, no, at idagdag mo sa collection. So marami kang paraan para mapalawak pa ang collection ng iyong library. Hindi lang tayo dun sa basic, kailangan na nating lumabas pa sa bigger community para mas mapalago pa natin ang ating library collection. So, ano yung mga factors influencing development of our collection? Na yung iba dito, traditional na at time-tested na, expected na natin. But I will go into details and see what trends are we moving towards to in these factors that shape the way we develop our collection. So una na, readers and library clients. Pangalawa, pedagogy and learning theories. Pangatlo, curriculum. Pang-apat, of course, technology. So, number one, readers and library clients. Driving force na makilala natin ng ating mga readers and clients para sila ang ating basihan sa pag-develop ng ating collection. So, nandiyan ang mga digital natives and millennials, no? Yung mga pinanganak ng 1990 and onwards. Sila yung pinanganak sa isang environment na media and technologically savvy. Dahil hindi lang tool ang technology sa kanila, environment na nila to. Iba silang gumamit ng information, iba silang gumamit ng technology. So, may implication ito sa ating collection development. Dito na natin itatanungin yung sarili natin, how much of the collection should be digital? Pangalawa, digital migrants and baby boomers. Yan, ako yan. Kasama ako dun sa ganyang demographic. Mga migrants sa digital environment. I was born in 1974 and the technology I came to know in my time was a television. Yun yung aking information source. Siyempre, may mga libro naman akong binabasa nun sa school library, pero ang technology na primary, pinagkukunan ko ng information nun ay ang TV. Ano pa bang mga technology nung panahon na yon? analog phone. Noong 90s, tsaka lang na introduce ang cellphone at ang internet. So, I had to adjust from an analog environment to a digital environment. So, how are we servicing digital migrants? What kind of collection are we building for them? And how are we helping them access the collection of the digital natives? Diversity and multiculturalism, may representation ba ang mga indigenous group sa collection mo? Ang mga LGBT readings, meron din bang space para sa yung collection, no? Multicultural, meron ba siyang aspeto na hindi lang localized, regional or provincial ang iyong collection, pero meron ding pang-international. Okay? So, ang tanong dito ngayon, is our collection in the library representative of diverse cultural orientations? Objective ba siya? Meron ba siyang biases? Subjective ba ang presentation? Equal ba ang representation na to? O masyadong leaning towards the left if it's a political orientation or leaning towards the right? But the wonderful thing is because we're libraries, I think it's about time for us to see equality and equity in our collection. So inclusive tayo. Inclusive ang ating pagbuo ng collection. Hindi lang isang pananaw, kundi pananaw ng marami ang pwede nating ilagay sa ating collection through books, e-books, online resources, online subscriptions, and AV resources. Let's also consider learning styles and modalities, no? Kasi when we say learning styles, ito yung kinesthetic, ito yung auditory, ito yung visual. Modalities would also refer to avenues of learning. How do we learn? Do we learn in special ways? Because we have learners who are also special in their understanding of the world. Naa-address ba natin ang kanilang learning styles and learning modalities? Ang nakakatuwa sa trabaho natin as librarians, we are aware that we have to offer a variety of formats so that our learners can get a lot from these learning resources. So, in a way, naa-address natin ang kanilang styles at iba't ibang modalities, no? So, yun yung gusto nating ma-expand pa sa pag-develop ng collection. Hindi lang siya diverse or multicultural. Hindi lang siya addressing the needs of digital natives. Hindi lang addressing the migratory needs of the digital migrants, no? But also encompassing a variety of learning styles and modalities that will help readers and library clients gain compassion, empathy, and a broader and an open-minded way of thinking, not just in the local environment, but also in the global arena. Pedagogy and learning theories. So, ang pinakabago, well, not really bago, relatively new, na may implikasyon sa paggamit ng digital gadgets at mga online resources ay ang theory of connectivism. In the theory of connectivism, it's characterized by diversity of opinions, process of connecting information sources, capacity to know versus what is currently known, connections between ideas, concepts, and fields of discipline, nurturing connections to facilitate learning, and looking at decision-making as a process, not just as an end to a means. So kung ito yung characteristics ng theory of connectivism, masasabi natin na ang ating collection development measures marami at varied, okay? Interdisciplinary, hindi lang tumututok sa kung ano ang alam mo, kundi may kakayahan ka bang alamin kung ano pa ang kaya mong malaman. Okay? Our collection can actually be connected to other disciplines. So kung meron kang recommended book sa math from your math collection, ang mga math books na ito, ang mga online journals mo sa math, ay integrated sa iba't iba pang discipline. Pwedeng mathematics and statistics as applied to science. Pwedeng philosophy as applied to population growth. Pwedeng religion as applied to psychology and other fields of discipline. So in the end, ang mahalaga doon, we are able to connect and facilitate learning through our collection. And in the process, we make decisions based on not just our interest or the interest of our readers, but also on the capacity of knowing what we know. Which leads me to two trends in thinking and in learning in this day and age: metacognition and epistemology. Metacognition is thinking about thinking, plan on a learning task, monitor comprehension, evaluate process and product. To me, I look at this as information literacy, di ba? And epistemology, studying the nature of knowledge. How do we create knowledge? How do we create content so that it can help us solve problems and understand complex situations? So in a way, this is knowledge management, di ba? And we look at our collection not just information that can be accessed, but also a collection where knowledge can be mined, where knowledge can be developed. Curriculum. Ano yung pagbabago sa curriculum? Sa mga school librarians, ayan, drastic ang K-12. Kasi talagang binuo siya in 2 to 3 years time. But I believe in K-12, no? Kasi an education program that is a 12 or 13-year program can actually lead us to more competitive workforce in the global market. So, how do we look at the curriculum? Kung basis natin ang curriculum sa collection development, titingnan din natin siya not in isolation. Titingnan din natin siya in terms of continuity. So, magsisimula sa kinder, connected siya sa grades 1 to 6, pataas sa middle years, high school, and senior high school. Because we should look at senior high school also as a specialized 2-year course for our learners to move into academic learning, technical, vocational, and livelihood training, or an excellence in the sports and the arts. So, knowing the senior high school tracks, no, yung collection ba natin sufficient para ma-meet ang mga requirements ng curriculum na to? In preparation to college, ang mga college libraries ba natin or university libraries natin handang tanggapin ang mga grades 11 to 12. And from what I heard from friends who are in CHED, malaki rin yung preparation na ginagawa nila for resource development. Technology. Balikan natin yung ISA Trend Report ng 2013. This was 3 years ago, no? Pero pag binalikan natin yun, it's one way of looking at where we are now and if we are meeting or following the trend. So if we are following the trend, are we successful? If not, bakit? Meron ba tayong mga contextual basis na hindi nasusunod? Because when we apply technology in our libraries, it's not a one-size-fits-all philosophy. But nonetheless, tingnan natin yung mga technological trends that has a direct and indirect approach to, direct or indirect implication to collection development. New technologies will both expand and limit who has access to information. Online education will democratize and disrupt global learning. The boundaries of privacy and data protection will be redefined. Hyper-connected societies will listen to and empower new voices and groups. The global information environment will be transformed by technology. So, ang gandang pag-usapan ng 5 trends na to, no? Pero in a nutshell, I think our collection development path should lead us to selecting titles, selecting sources that will sharpen the critical thinking of our library clients, making them understand the global information environment, and that there are new voices to listen to analyze, to logically understand if they are manipulating the truth or not, to look at how we access information from the print level to the digital level, to democratize libraries. Meron pa bang closed shelf sa inyo? O open shelf na lahat? At ang mga passwords ay accessible na anytime, anywhere, 24/7, may online connection at bukas ang library, virtual man or online resources ito. And then privacy and data protection. Dun sa statement of ownership and access, how do we protect our data and how do we protect the privacy of our users? So, with those trends, with those factors shaping collection development, from readers to pedagogy, to learning, to thought processes, yung role natin sa library at sa pagiging librarian nagbabago din. May 4 na dimensions ang American Library Association na ibinigay, no? Pwede natin gawing basihan ito ng pagbabago ng landscape ng ating profession. Una, physical to virtual libraries, individual to communal libraries, collection to content creation libraries, portal to archival libraries. So, physical to virtual. It's not just about books anymore. Kailangan meron na rin tayong mga online sources and we have to educate our users on how they can access online resources smarter and more responsibly. Ang tanong, is it physical to virtual or physical and virtual? Para sa akin, dapat pantay lang yan. Physical and virtual. Kasi ang isang concept din sa technology, no, para ma-apply natin at mas ma-appreciate natin ng technology, kailangan malakas ang kanyang physical structure. So, naniniwala pa rin ako na kailangan ng physical space sa library, kailangan ng physical objects, kailangan ng libro na print, at may support ang virtual. So, equal footing na ito dapat. Hindi na siya physical versus virtual. And in a way, it has an implication in our budgeting. Individual to communal. Look at the book stop. This is the idea of a library that travels from one place to another, not through a van or a bus or a tricycle or a kariton, but through a physical library talaga na pwedeng buuin at pwedeng i-destroy. So, it's an architectural framework na kung saan may mga built-in shelves na pwedeng buuin parang Lego. So, kung ako reader, I can contribute the book that I would like to donate in the bookstop and I can get one for myself and I can keep it for myself. So, para siyang book swap na nakalagay sa isang library na open for all. So, ito na yung access, ito na yung ownership, ito na yung democratization of sources, ito na yung hearing different voices and different groups. From an individual library, standalone library, to a more communal library, binuo ito ng mga book lovers and book readers. Individual to communal din, yung pagbuo ng human library ng De La Salle school library systems, no? O De La Salle University library systems. Kasi kumukuha sila ng mga community experts or subject experts para magsalita tungkol sa kanilang field of expertise. Hindi lang para bumuo ng knowledge, pero para ma-empathize pa at ma-break down ang mga prejudices at ang ating mga biases, making the world a more caring place to be. So, social development naman ang focus nito, no? Na lahat tayo empowered to speak our own voice and we can actually be more tolerant of others' differences if we can be more empathic towards each other. The human library. So, in a way, yung mga resource persons, they are augmenting the collection. At nakakatuwa dahil pwede pala silang maging collection in a way. Human library. Collection to creation libraries. Makerspace. So, ang mga modern libraries, meron siyang mga pockets where activities can be done by children, by teenagers, even by academicians. So, makerspace sa school library, meron dyang do-it-yourself craft, merong Lego corner, merong robotics corner. Sa academic library kaya, ano ang makerspace ninyo, academic librarians? There's actually a study already done, no, ng mga academic libraries na pwede kayong maglagay ng makerspace. Maybe a makerspace for the publication of a research, a makerspace for a business management or entrepreneurship uh, pocket where you can create a product and sell it. Another collection to creation library idea is the learning commons. May collection ka sa library, print, AV, online, at ginagamit ito ng mga users to create their knowledge. Hindi lang research, pero may mga group and collaborative projects silang ginagawa sa library. Yes, the learning commons may be a space, but we have to look at how the space is used and how the learning happens using resources or using the collection of the library. Next, we have an example of a collection to creation concept of the library. Ito, high school library dahil ginagawa namin ito sa school namin. So, we have a collection of books, we have a collection of storybooks, and we use this in the Early Readers Project to inspire our high school students to create books and stories for younger children. So, ang project nila ay bumuo ng mga kwento na may illustrations, may mga drawings, at ito ay available online. So our tech people would help our high school students undergoing the project, scan them, making them available online for free. Pwedeng i-download. There's also a community involvement in this project. Kasi yung mga kids namin, yung mga high school kids namin na bumuo ng mga aklat na to, ito rin yung ginagamit nilang storytelling, books, at coloring books dun sa mga student ng aming adopted school sa Binyan. So, nagpupunta sila sa Loma Elementary School and they would do storytelling there and have time, no, to interact with them and use the storybooks. So, from collection, ginagamit yung existing collection para bumuo ng mga stories, and then may community involvement para magbahagi pa ng mga kwento. Posible kaya yun sa academic at saka sa ibang mga library schools, library agencies in private and public institutions? That would be a challenge. And then portal to archival. Yes, we have pathfinders, we have directory of online resources, but have we tried online curation? So, yung sample ko dito ay ang Scoop It, na pwede kang bumuo ng isang grupo on a particular discipline or knowledge, let's say, science or engineering. At ang client mo, ang library client mo for this are mga science students or mga engineering students. And then you collect, no, using the curriculum or the course offerings, you collect online sources, links, videos, academic journals in open source or in open access. Ipunin mo siya into an archival form, curated siya. Pwede mo siyang i-link sa Facebook, sa Twitter, and it can be accessed by that group of students whom you are helping learn a course or a unit in their subjects. So with this, 4 dimensions of the changing role of libraries, our role of librarians must be strengthened also. Sa palagay ko, may bago, may hindi bago. Pero bago man o hindi, mahalaga pa rin ang role natin sa changing landscape ng digital age. Not just in developing the collection, but in other aspects of library work. So collection development may be the core of our existence or being as librarians. Dahil doon tayo kumukuha ng knowledge base eh. Nandun pa rin ang backbone natin ng kaalaman, no? Pero kailangan nating lumabas para mas ma-enrich pa natin ang pag-develop natin ng ating collection. And innovation is always out there. We collaborate, we create spaces for learning, and we have to assume roles that are relatively new, so we need to keep on growing professionally. So our roles would be provider of access to information, teachers of information literacy leading to information fluency. We are consultants and counselors on resources for life skills and well-being. Kaya meron tayong mga bibliotherapy sessions. Ha? Yan, gusto ko yan. Resource persons on research and knowledge creation, managers of technology and learning environments, community developers, and advocates of art and culture preservation. And I think the last one speaks strongly in this day and age, wherein our history is being shaped and reshaped by people with different agenda. So let's step up and show them these the people who challenge our history, that there are live documents that they can look at, documents that tell the truth, documents that are valid, documents that are reliable. So in a way, we are preserving art and culture as well as our history. So it's good to be a librarian in this day and age, no? Given the many roles. Hindi mo naman gagawin yan lahat. Lalo na kung one-man librarian ka sa isang school library or sa isang public or private institution. That's why the more you need technology, establish your networks and linkages to be able to play the role expected of you in your learning community. So I end with instructions for the workshop. I would like you all to go to 23 mobile things, thing number 16, so that you will get an engagement on how you can develop ebooks and ebook apps in your libraries. So ito yung ginawa kong online course way back in 2014. I think the concepts and the activities are still applicable in this day and age. So explore that. Watch the video. After watching the video, read the text because it will give you strategies in ebook development in your library. And then do the activities. For groups 1 and 2, do the tasks in Discover. For groups 3, 4, 5, do the tasks in Explore. For group 6 and 7, do the tasks in Activities. 8, 9, 10, do the thinking points. So good luck in the workshop. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have questions, I will see you in the online chat. Hopefully our internet connection works. Marami pong salamat. And check my sources and references for additional readings. Thank you very much and see you online.